Alright, final Devblog for now. Obviously, we will get more in the future or following days. Um, the first Devblog is no, hold on. It's the second for the Battle Pass vehicle. It's the T55E1 rear tank destroyer. As you can see, it looks absolutely retarded and just looks like they tried to make a weird vehicle, cut the top off, and then threw a gun in the front. I like it. I like it though, right? It's one of the good retarded vehicles. And something I actually want. Alright, it's a rank 3 premium. Let's see. It's pros. It has a good gun, perfect vertical aiming angles. Huh. What are perfect vertical aiming angles? Okay, I don't understand that. I'm just assuming you have a lot of negative and positive depression. And it has a low profile. Lowish, actually. I don't think it's too low. It should still be higher than a Stuck or a Hetzer, etc. But I suppose, yeah, it's smaller than a normal tank. It's negatives. It has no armor. Small crew. What I find interesting in general is that they're not mentioning mobility at all. So, I don't know. We will see about that. Let's get into the history tab before my eyes keep getting confused of the pictures below. Anyways, the American T55E1 rear tank destroyer was created on the chassis of an experimental all-terrain 8x8 vehicle. The Cook Brothers Company received an order for the development of the project in August of 1942, and in the fall, the first prototype, named the T55, was already at the Allied Machinery Manufacturing Facility. After the first test, the military suggested that the designers modify the vehicle since some issues appeared during the test. So at the beginning of 1943, the T55E1 appeared, a more densely assembled and improved version of a promising self-propelled gun. The T-55E1 role in combat was assumed as fire support of advancing infantry while being able to operate on any type of surface. The T-55E1 had no turret and the massive 76mm M7 gun was located on the front of the vehicle. This arrangement required the shifting of the power plant of two 110 horsepower engines to the vehicle's rear. At the same time, so it has only 220 HP, okay. At the same time, the SPG received a low profile, sufficient traverse angles, and excellent elevation angles. The upgraded T55E1, due to improved driving characteristics and decrease in total weight, showed a speed of over just 50 miles per hour, 80 kilometers per hour, in tests and a good result in overcoming obstacles. At the same time, in 1943, a special commission recommended that the Army completely abandon the use of wheeled vehicles in favor of tracked platforms, and the Cook Brothers project was closed, but we are sure to have this curious tank destroyer will definitely find a place in War Thunder. So they just were like, okay, now we don't want weird vehicles, and stopped. They wasted so much money on this thing, and then they were like, you know what? Actually, weird suck, bro. Okay, it's the United States, they do be like that. Spending other countries' entire government budget on one vehicle to throw it away. In this case, we have obviously no numbers on how much it costs, but that's usually how it goes. I'd be surprised if they spend less than $1 billion before they abandon the project because it's just how the United States operates, which is kind of is a flex, but uh, because most countries obviously can't pull that off. Um, Anyways, it is relatively fast. The thing is, it said it was the way they worded it makes it sound like it can barely reach the 80 kilometers. So I don't know. I think they should have still added the mobility as a positive thing, especially more than the low profile because so low. Um, the profile isn't that low, right? So I don't know. Um, Nah, I don't know why they this time didn't mention the mobility. Like every time, like VK's average mobility, nah, we have to list that as a negative. And now there's actually something. The mobility is actually special, right? And they're not even. I don't know. I'm not going to rant over how they do this pro. You know what? Actually, I think I've done this in literally every fucking video now. That I looked at the pros and cons and was then like, yes, but wouldn't. Why? No. Then I was talking about like 5 minutes why that is retarded. I will stop talking about how that is retarded now and look at the retarded design of the vehicle. As you can see, here's the ammo apparently. There you have a very asymmetrical block with the engines inside. Here you have a beautiful window where the driver can stick his face through. The back actually just looks like a normal tank, and then they did this. It really looks like they just cut it on. Like, I'm not trying to diss it here, right? But if you look at it looks like there was a combat compartment and they just cut it off. I don't know, this is weird. It's a weird vehicle, but I like it. Here it says, in our game, the experimented T55E1 rear tank destroyer will be a reward for completing tasks in the new season of the Battle Pass. Yeah, duh. Its unusual layout, low profile, good speed, and excellent elevation angles make it an excellent ambush warrior. The vehicle easily finds cover, can work from the slopes of hills, and accelerates well on solid surfaces. The 76mm M7 cannon is familiar to you from the M10 SPG and the M6A1 heavy tank, or all the Shermans. Copes with, not all the Shermans, like the one starting from 5.0. Copes well with all targets at lower ranks, sometimes, however, having some problems with a medium rank heavy tanks. Along the disadvantage of the T55E1, there's a lack of armor in this macro, so it will be at least 5.3 if they're even mentioning the mid-tier tanks. Daytimes, okay, here it will probably... Yeah, here it just tells you to stay on the roads, because it's not gonna do great in mud and all that, like, duh. That is obvious. And here it just says that it will come in a non-pronounceable fucking update. Well, I was quite harsh on this vehicle, and I still think it looks absolutely retarded, but specifically for that I wanted. This vehicle alone actually makes me considering to get the Battle Pass. So yeah, it's just weird retardedness on 8 weird, so I don't know. Retarded goodness on 8 weirds? Yeah, I think that makes more sense. As I said, I like the unconventional design. I think it's gonna be a relatively strong vehicle. Reasonably strong. I don't think it will be entirely broken. But I think it will be fun. I would love to know what they actually mean with perfect vertical aiming angles. Because, they talk about it, but they don't show it. There's this fucking clip where it's just driving over a field and a road. The gun is literally placed horizontally in all of these, in the entire clip. And the same goes for the pictures. Like, what the fuck? I wanna see what they mean with the fucking perfect vertical aiming angles. Not only when I can fucking drive the vehicle myself. And I honestly don't want to look up some YouTubers' videos specifically just so I can decide if the pressure is actually good or bad. That is something that really bothers me about this Devblog. But it's a nice thing. It's cool that it's there. I think it's a nice reward. There's still a bit of thought, but because of their unwillingness to make sensible devlogs, because there's a lot of unnecessary stuff that they're saying. The pros and cons usually I can stick up the butt because it's absolutely retarded, like in this case. And usually I keep like ranting for 2 minutes after I've talked about everything because I feel like it's necessary. I mean, Gretchen will never look at my videos and they will never hear my ranting, but no. Why? I mean, you can't just talk about something being great on a vehicle, then have a clip and 4 pictures of it and not showing the proposed or like assumed good thing or alleged good thing on the vehicle. That's not how it works. I'm salty at that. But otherwise, yeah, I don't know. I try to be faster with the next dev blocks, otherwise, goodbye.